That's it, eh? Welcome to the Tribe UG podcast, episode 1, season 3.
Wow.
Guys, welcome back. It's been a wonderful ride and we're back as usual.
Tuliwano
at Nihati with the usual suspects.
What up? Paulo the writer here. Happy to be back, and it's been a long break. Music has been good. Some hasn't. But well,
hey.
Here we are.
The Count Markula in the building. Ian is still as devilish as always. Felix, you can see, is out of practice. He forgot his welcome. I think he even said like one welcome. But like, we're back and let's do the thing. But guys,
yeah,
it's been this is season 3, yo. This is season 3. I'm like, we've had, we did this rollout where we gave guys to tell us about, the episodes they've liked, the memories from the past. You as Ian, you as the devil that you are. What's one of the episode moments that marked the past 2 seasons?
Before that, I'd like to clarify that I've changed my ways. So the devil in me is
unmemorable.
Guys, don't forget the devil is a liar. But go on.
But well, the last 2 seasons. Now we can even say that last few seasons. There are that many seasons in. Well, the last 2 seasons, I think from last season, my favorite episode is the one where we had Kohen, because at the very end we brought Mootownoh and they did an impromptu remix, and that shows you that these collaborations are actually possible, and it's you can, if you run into an artist in a studio, you can quickly organize something and give us music, and also shows the talent these guys have. Like, you meet somebody quickly, you jump on, you do an impromptu remix. So it kind of showed that it's actually possible for these artists to work together and give us some dope music. From season 1,
one pipe, it's called.
Yeah, from season 1, I think again it remains a James proper episode, because he dropped a lot of knowledge from the other side which we can bring to this side. And I think over the last season and between then and now, we've seen people actually
incorporate.
Yeah. So, and I feel like makes me proud because we're making a difference. And for those that listen, those that didn't,
Felix.
I thought you were going to the Ninja C episode because she brought samosas.
But even producer Hassan brought samosas today.
No, Damba brings samosas every day.
Felix, season 2, season 1.
I'm like one of those spirits. All episodes are my favorite episodes. All my kids are my favorite kids. In a weird way, and in in a weird way, and unpopular opinion.
From worst to worst.
But yeah, that one.
You can use Luganda or Nyako, it's fine.
That one. I wouldn't want to count season 1.
What do you mean?
Because season 1, when I go back and listen to it, I was struggling, quality and all those things. So for me, I wouldn't want to count it as much, but then also it is part of the journey from how things were bad and then you improve. But the CNN episode that never made it to online was my favorite one. And then also the episode where we roasted Ian.
That was, you wouldn't remember, but
those two. Then if I'm to choose from season 1, there's an episode where we laughed. It's just that our video got lost, but there's that episode I've never laughed that much on this podcast.
Did I jump out the window?
That one, like tears were rolling down, like
cried,
it was so
sweat.
much. Yeah, but the count.
Last season, man, we went to an island.
Also, that one was a good one.
We did the island shoot, and
besides
that was
the
dope.
broken lights, that was a good one.
I think the reason why I forgot that one is because our producer at that time promised a Top Gear kind of episode.
Must be easy.
and it never came through. So
no, but like, yeah, the island thing was good because it was an experience. You know, it was get away from the comforts of the sofa, like Dumzy said, and take a trip together, see things along the way, listen to music along the way. We had to buy a new aux because the other one, but the music was so much fire that it burned the aux. But that was dope. So being able to do that episode was good. For season 1, I'll have to say the first episode, funny enough, because that whole experience, Valentine's Day, not Valentine's, yeah, calm down. Valentine's Day, because that episode was really, Umeme did its thing. We sat there, we applied the Systeeemu, and and by the time we started the episode, the system was applying us. But let me see. In the time that we've been away, a lot of music has been released, right? As usual, like that's one thing about the industry right now. Like we have that constant release, which is really dope because we keep getting the good music. We have stuff to work with. Yeah. We wouldn't have anything to talk about without you guys. So shut ups. First of all, I'll have to just mention some people because we're going to look at music that's been released in this year. Because like last year, this year started with a bang. Yeah. But after our finale at the end of last year, there were a few projects that came out. Mootownoh released his debut EP, which was Systeeemu. Yep. It was a lot of fire, prolific. Kohen JC gave us Heartstrings, which again, you just mentioned them as doing, guys who came onto the pod that did something dope. Immediately after our finale, they both released projects that was dope. The Clansmen released in December. They had an album in December, and that is, there was a lot of music that came out, and that's dope. But this year, again, guys started, just like last year, guys started immediately. Number 1, Baru. Right from Jan. Early Jan, Baru drops Chwez Funk. Yeah. Ian. As a resident
Baru expert. Well, I think what still fascinates me about how Baru creates, for Chwez Funk, when we went for the listening party, I didn't quite get what he was trying to do, but it did not come in a way of not understanding it. It came in a way of, okay, this is something new. This is an experiment. Where is he going with this? And of course, listening party, people are making noise. People are laughing in the background. You don't really get a chance to experience the music in its, how can I say it? Like the music wasn't pure. There were too many distractions. So eventually it drops, and then you can listen in the comfort of your headphones, comfort of your car, wherever you are. And I still didn't get it. And not because, again, I didn't understand it, but I felt like it was such an experiment, and he was actually he did an experiment of merging, like, it was like a walk down memory lane, but in an unfamiliar fashion because we tend to leave the past behind. But here he was bringing it and trying to make it relevant and modern and incorporate it into music we can understand now while still relating to the past. So the more I listened, it grew on me, and I could see the genius behind the production. I could see the genius behind the features. Julius Sese, wherever he was, I could feel the magic he added to the tracks.
There were 3 of them, yeah.
And looking at it now, I feel like in Baru's career, this is going to be such a monumental piece, because when you see even what followed this, you can see Baru has completely jumped into an element where he's able to experiment and create something familiar but new and quite interesting. So for me, for that project, it's something that has grown on me. I just wish if I had a bit of more money, I could listen to it on a yacht or a private jet or some sort of vacation, because that's the environment, that's the scenery that deserves that kind of album. But overall, it was pure magic. It was really, really fantastic.
It was a Chwez Funk.
Yep. Felix.
Baru.
Baru season.
Of course, musically speaking, Baru has been that guy who really doesn't care what people are saying and what people are doing. So with that said, he always experiments with a lot in terms of production, in terms of sound, and with that, he gets to put the people he collaborates with also in that same space, so that they can move with him on that journey of experimenting and that journey of exploration of sound. And for me on this one, it was I think the person who benefited most was Julius.
yeah.
And also it got to, and in a different way, Julius also got to show his range as an artist and as someone who is willing to collaborate with someone on something.
I mean, if you're on a project different. 3 times, you better give people variety.
You better give people value for their money. And of course, the Taka verse. It takad. It was in HD.
The room is room. The verse was in HD.
Yeah, it was in HD. No. But on the flip side, for me, when it comes now to Baru's creations, he did it on Longitude. I would say now I want to see more visuals from his side.
Yeah.
Because now, like a Chwez Funk, this is a story he's painting. Yeah. So ideally, you want to see it also visually. You want to see how do you bring the sound to life. And that's something I look forward to.
But for you, don't wish you had some money, a private jet, an island.
Brother, I've been wishing for that money overseas way.
But I feel you on that. Because that project, the sounds, the memories. Imagine a video bringing back that energy from the past, and maybe some of the dances or something. And like you said, he did it on the next project, but it would have been interesting to see for that one. And about Julius's range, that's actually interesting because, there's listening to him on the first song because he starts it off, and then listening to him again in between. And then on the song with Tucker, I think it's Till the Sun Comes Up. That's actually my favorite performance of him on there because I liked the runs and the way he was doing the way the song is done. I like how his delivery was. And I'm like, yeah, that's good if I can hear. You see, there's reaching the third time and saying, I'm over this person, but then it's reaching the third one, and he still has something more to offer than what you've already listened to. And for me, that was quite interesting. But the project as a whole, I think it's a nice listen. And of course we get some of the vocalists we know. Maybe certain things could have been tweaked or whatever, but we get to hear SC again. That's always a plus. Julius Sese, that's one of my favorite JC Muyonjo performances. So it's just there's a lot of stuff that's to look forward to and to listen to in that project. But man, Baru was like, hey, you're still on that. Quata, another one. Longitude. Another one. He gave us Longitude 20 and it's a madness.
Crazy.
It's a madness.
I think you as the French speaking person should be the first to review this project.
No, but
you're going to give it to us in French.
No, mais la première fois que no. The thing about it is, you listen to the project and he starts us off with Mzala, and you're like, oh my god, the song, the energy. Right out the gates, you're like, let's go. And you're like, where are we going from this? Because you listen to the first song, and I'm like, I like to be surprised, so sometimes I don't want to even look at the track list, like put the thing the other side and just listen in my little corner. And then you go from that into tie-dye. And we've listened to tie-dye, and she has a chill. But like it's again, for Baru, it's the sounds. We've come from Chwez Funk, where he's been giving us a certain style. We come into this, Mzala has that Afro house, Amapiano merger style. And then the tie-dye is tie-dye. So she's that laid-back, hip-hop, swaggy music. And it's really, really dope that he can deliver that. To get out of that into the next with A-Pass and like the whole project, it's a journey. And like some of the things that are interesting for me is the artists we listen to a lot right there in our faces, like there's Joshua, for instance. Joshua Baraka and the song with Joshua Baraka and Liko Banji. The thing about that for me is we've heard, this year it's been Nana season all year. But that song for me shows a side of him that I'm happy to see. The way it was written, the verse into the hook into the harmony by Liko Banji towards the end of the hook, then her verse, then at the end when the hook is going and he's doing just some runs and some ad-libs. I like that, and I was so excited to hear that. And on the Baru production, which again took us out of, again, we get to see these people a lot with the same maybe producers and whatever. So again, to see them out of that element and working on this, I was very excited by that project. Get out of that song into that one with the Kine and the French, but that was really for me. And Akine, there's a constant ad lib throughout the song, and it's just those little moments that make a song. For me, they take it to the next level, and I like that she was able to execute that. And I also like that in our last episode, we're talking about all her collaborations, and since then, she has a number of singles. For instance, she has. She had Untold in December. She had a song with Kohen at the start of the year. She has a recent single as well, Better. Yeah. And then here we go with this. You get, so it's really good to see the guys continue to put in the work. Not that last year it ended. No, they're still going, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
Also, shout outs to Kaboo. We have to acknowledge because it's a collaboration project between Baru and Kaboo.
Yeah.
And one thing that Kaboo said at the listening session of this project is that every instrument, every sound that is on that project, they created from scratch. They never had to go online and purchase some package or anything. It was created from scratch.
That's
so
amazing.
Kudos to them, because that shows the level of execution they are willing to go in terms of creating and giving us a fine, good product. And also on this on this project, they gave us some new artists. They gave us some new artists, like Adrian, who was singing in
Adrian K.
Rukonjo. Singing in Rukonjo. So which shows that they weren't.
My God.
They were really willing to explore different sounds, different languages to make sure that this project comes to life. And kudos to them for that, and salute to them.
Yeah, for me, there was that viral clip of Cabo and Baru when they had bottles and taxis and blah blah blah.
That drink.
Yeah. And we always wondered what they were experimenting and what that would eventually lead to. I feel like this was kind of, I would not call it the climax, because I feel like they still
have more.
Yeah, they still have more to deliver. But this kind of takes us, shows us what, like all the experimenting they've been doing, what it can actually create.
Yeah.
Especially given that on the listening party, he said every instrument, every sound, was created from scratch. So that shows you, even from that viral clip, these chaps are not just having fun, they're actually doing some kind of research, trying to understand how does this blend into this, how do you create a sound out of this. And when you listen to the whole project as a whole, you get to appreciate what it actually, you appreciate the journey of someone intentionally seeking to create original sound and trying to filter the noise and trying to be as original as possible, because it may start off as an experiment, but it eventually pays off. I mean, look at all these new sounds that come. For example, my piano, it just comes out of nowhere. It's a hit and blah, blah. Everyone's like, oh my God, this is nice. But it has been evolving from something to get to that point. So when you see what Cabo and Baru did, it's amazing, because you can see the potential of what it could become and how far it could go. And of course, you package it with all these artists and this great music, just makes the whole project, the project is more sentimental, because I know for them it carries more value than us, the listeners, but even us, the listeners, it's more sentimental, because you feel like, okay, we actually have people trying to champion the next level, the next evolution of our music, and it's really great to see.
Hey,
you imagine asking a guy like Baru, so what do you think about the Ugandan sound?
Please.
You brought this thing back.
I don't know. I mean, the guy is exploring, but yeah.
No, but I get.
So Lukas Blacc, Lukas Blacc. Last year we listened to Birth of Blacc Vibes, BOBV, dope project. Of course, we know it's one of the faves from the year. This year he gave us an EP. So much shorter. He gave us an EP, Love Made. And immediately after, he followed that up with the Empathy remix with APAS.
Yeah.
Because Empathy is on the EP. So, Lukas Blacc.
Well, I didn't quite like this project as much as the previous one. And it's, of course, it's nothing to do with the artist or nothing to do with the artist, let's be specific. But,
The bar.
yeah?
The bar.
Yes, the bar. When we compare it to the previous one, it's still good, but I mean expectations are up here, and then you deliver something like this. I've seen in the few circles, I mean, everyone seems to like Pastime,
Which is okay.
which is weird because
I have a feeling again is the one who likes it, but you wanted first to the waters and be like
message as well, and I believe it is the voice in the wall.
yes,
I got that message as well.
But you see, the voice in the wall.
It's
Same.
But I got that message as well, and sorry for interrupting, but I got that message as well, and for me, the things I like the most about Lukas Blacc are the things which for me are missing in Pastime.
yeah,
Right, you get like nowhere. This is what I really like about this person. I like how he writes. I like all the things I like are missing in Pastime, because Pastime is very Pastime, baby, your body. But it's catchy, it's easy, but it stays there for me, and that's the thing that's missing for me. Like if I listen to Magical at the start of the project. Magical, he starts us off, he's singing, we're like, okay, it's a vibe, Ledra is doing the thing on the beat, it's nice, then he switches up and goes into the pure rapping. He's like, yeah, let me give you some bars, small, because it ends immediately. Actually, when track 2 started, the first time I was listening, I thought it was just like a gap. Then they start like I thought the song was just at a pause, and then they drop the beat again and with a switch up. That's what I thought it was the first time I listened. When I look at my phone, it was track 2, but it's just a bit short for me. But other than that, I like that the song evolves, and for me, Pastime stays. But that's just just me being picky as a listener. When you're such a fan, that's the thing. You'll tell someone something like this, they'll be like, "Why are you hating on the?" No. I'm such a fan that I am paying attention to every little detail of what he's doing.
Yeah.
But something I just wanted to say about this project is that I've been to 2 live performances since he dropped it. Yeah, he gave us a Blacc experience. We're there with producer Hassan from the family, Hassan. And man, it was a vibe, Blacc vibes. But his performance was great. He even my Pastime, both times that he has performed, both at the Blacc experience and at the patio branch. Gwe, you should have seen me singing, like it's my favorite tune. Because the boy puts on a great performance. And guys, if you've not seen your favorite boy, like his, if you've not seen your favorite boy, Lukas Blacc perform, man, attend one of those, because the boy brings it. He does the damn thing. So, we need to go and check him out, because he really puts up a great performance. His singing is pure, and that's one of the things people may not get from some of the music, but he sings, and that's always great. So like the covers or some of his slower songs when he's performing them, rent free, my jam. Like when he's performing some of these songs, you get to experience that side of him. Even the rapping, when he's just pure rapping, you get to see that, and it may not be present in some of the songs that are out, but it's just so great to experience it live. So that how you go to a live performance and you don't know what to expect. Like you get to be pleasantly surprised every time. Like that for me is a dope thing.
Yeah, perhaps I should.
Perhaps you should get off the.
Perhaps you should book him. Eh?
Not book him. Perhaps I should watch him perform live, because this project didn't quite hit as much. And I guess I'll have to. The next time he's performing, I can't promise, but I will try.
We know you can't.
I'll try to leave my house.
Felix.
I don't know. I think you guys have said everything. It's really said. But I'll say this. You see, for concept projects, because you can see in this project they had a theme they were following. You can easily miss it, or you can land it, and it's an incredible story in that project wrapped up together. So for him and Ledra, what they set out to do, it is along those lines. They had a theme they were following and a story they were trying to tell, because you can see throughout the songs he's talking about this chick who he has been indulging with in different situations. in different situations. The production side, of course, Ledra, shouts to Ledra Muhiga, he has grown. For guys who have been listening to him for a minute, he has grown, and on this project you can see it, and he's mastering the sound. Then on the artist or the creator's person, the writer who is writing these songs, I would say this. I feel like Lukas Blacc will have more success as a dancehall / reggae artist.
I agree.
The raps on that thing, I was like, nah, they were not needed. Even his previous project, that's the songs that I enjoyed more, are the songs that were slightly having that dancehall appeal, that reggae appeal. So to me personally, I feel like as Lukas Blacc, whoever is behind him, the A&R is, because the A&R, you go from the sound, the brand how it looks like. I feel like Lukas Blacc will have that success more as a dancehall artist. And for management in UG, that's the easiest way to make your money back. When you have someone who does a sound that has popular appeal to the people who are consuming the music. Pretty much that's all I can say about that project. But I like those projects where a producer and an artist come together to tell a story, to create something. And this I have no problem with it. For me, I would easily say a 7.5 out of 10.
How things have changed. You're the same guy.
Naxa.
You're the same guy who got us a letter because you didn't like some producer artist collaboration
but
in
you
season
see,
1.
But you see, the letter did come from the producer.
It came from the artist, but it's okay. But I'm glad you've changed opinions. You may not have changed opinion
anyway
regarding the artist, but the whole
maybe
producer,
he's just in a good mood, like Naxa. Naxa's good mood project.
Good
Naxa.
Good mood.
Naxa. Naxa's EP was a bit confusing.
Hey.
You know,
it wasn't for you.
Yeah, like we've said before, it's possible for an artist
like
to
it was
create
on a high level.
a project and
no, there was a lot of God and he's a devil.
No, it's for me. I think the best part about Naxa has always been the fact that he brings the church to the ghetto. More of how perception.
There's no church.
I was going to name drop someone and I say, you think what he's doing is playing games?
This whole perception of church, you have to be humble, you have to be
color within the lines.
Yeah. And then but you forget that the majority of the people that need church are somewhere on Bandali Rice.
They are tinihati.
And what Naxa does is, you may be going to Bandali Rice, but if you play a Naxa song,
you'll be in a good mood.
The mood will remain. And you know, I feel like if I was a DJ, I'd trap the crowd. I play for you some dancehall stuff, you get your Nyigos, I drop in a Naxa, and then you're like, God. Just first clean up your act, and then you can go back to your Lukas Blacc.
So you think in heaven there's no Nyigos? One thing we know, that we know. Hey, that we know. But now, if you remove the Nyigos out of the equation, what are we going to do?
But so as you're getting in, you're like, hey, that angel in the back.
I can see your halo. Oh my God.
You're like, I'll have it later. Let me first go and see God. I'm coming.
Let's meet behind the other cloud.
Angel go with CJ.
Let's meet behind the other cloud.
Cloud 9.
Guys, that is not the mile high trap they've been talking about. Sorry.
Let's meet on cloud 9.
No, but you know how they say before you die, if you confess, God forgives you and you go to heaven. Imagine you've made it, but because of Nyigos with that angel, it's like, guy, please.
I can't believe
go downstairs.
This is where I'm talking about Naxa has processed. Naxa, we are sorry. First of all, Naxa. You see his last project, New Level.
Angels Nyigos.
Blacc and white Angels Nyigos. Quick. Let's just behave, please. Last project, Naxa gave us some nice energy music, the collaboration with Malex. He had Milolo with Sachi, and it was fun. There was, this fusion of sounds that are interesting, and So I've listened to. Funny thing is, I was looking forward to seeing him a bit more on some mellow songs where I get to listen to him and experience that. But from the title of the EP and from the way he pushed it, we knew we're entering good mood vibes.
Yeah.
And from the production, right from the first song all the way to now, like Celebrate. Celebrate is so reminiscent of Milolo because it has that same Afrofusion energy. And it's a celebration of the good mood.
Yeah.
And for me, that's really dope because we get to experience the artist delivering what he has, in quotes, promised. And I feel like what we...
Wait, imagine you're grabbing Nyigos from an angel. And someone taps you. Like, Chief. Enzo Gabriel is calling you.
This is what... Yes.
Like, let me first finish and I come. Like, no.
So as you can see, 2 seasons later, Ian still has that thing.
I think it's clear. Naxa, you make music for angels who want Nyigos. There's no going back after this.
Which reminds me, speaking of seeing guys, like Naxa has the good mood hangout on the 21st at Motive, and don't show up for Nyigos.
There will be angels who want Nyigos.
But like the good mood hangout is gonna be a vibe. I know Naxa puts in the work. He's that type of artist that he's not going to go haphazard and stuff. He's going to do the damn thing.
Yeah.
And that is something you said earlier, though you said the church to the ghetto. Something, I remember Les said this in the past season.
Which Les?
Who? But I remember it was said, I can't remember who, but in the past season it was mentioned that one thing about Naxa is he's making good music.
Yeah.
That happens to be Christian music.
Right.
And for me, that's always a very important, and I know people see us, our tweets, our engagements. It's the same thing I feel about Wake. And I like this type of artists that do that. So it's the same thing as if you listen to R&B. It's not that I'm listening to any random R&B artist. I'm listening to good music. Whether it's about, it doesn't matter, it's about Angels Nyigos. It's all about, is the music good at the end of the day? We've talked about Baru's project, the song in Nukonjo, the Edrin K. I don't know what's being said. I don't know what's being said in Zala. I don't know what's being said in 5 songs on that project. But
Good music.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe. It's as simple as that. I listened to the UG Cypher 3, and one of my favorite verses is Triggers. The delivery, I don't get a word that's being said in there except the 1 or 2 English words that he brings in the middle of some of the lines. But as long as the good music is being delivered, that's all that matters. And one thing about Naxa, his music is always a good mood. Yeah. Felix?
Oh man, I don't think I can add on after
After
the only thing I can say is, guys, let's go support Naxa. Get those tickets. He's selling on his Twitter timeline, right? He puts a contact, right? Yeah, please, guys, let's support Naxa. Let's be there. He has given us the music. Now it's time we see him perform it.
And get Nyigos.
Exactly. From Church Angels.
Dagg Mizzo through the valley.
Yo, Dagg, let me get him.
Wow.
Sorry. Ian, there's a comment. I think it's season 1. where he said
forgettable.
Dagg should first stick to producing.
Oh, that one. I thought the
I didn't say
forgettable one.
first stick to producing.
Which he has done diligently until he has come back to give us a project. So I want to start with you. How do you
Evolution from your first comment till now.
Yeah.
Yeah, first of all, shouts out to Dagg. Several artists usually take the things we say on this podcast the wrong way. But I mean, he was one of those people that actually like put aside the emotions and maybe how things were phrased and look at the message.
Yeah.
And he was one of those artists that did that. And when you do, because, like when people are playing soccer, for you who's watching on TV, you may be like, Ronaldo, how could you miss that goal? Or Verstappen, how could you make that corner like that? But if you're that guy in the actual thing, that you don't have such a wide angle view to make the decisions the rest of us on the outside can see. But sometimes when you sit back and actually examine yourself from the outside, you may see a point or two in what someone is saying. And I feel like Dagg Mizzo did that, and he chose to harness the power of his production, become really good at that, but he's still someone that's been passionate about rapping. So he's like, you know what, eventually I want to go back at it and give it another shot and see how far this thing can go. And he, given the time he has taken to produce music, I mean, he gave us Cold on Navio's Vibes Out the East, and Cold is a proper jam. The production, the back and forth, the Mith and Navio did when they were rapping, the whole composition was just fantastic. So that producer at that level gives you a project he has done for himself, and it's an EP that has really evolved from the last time he tried to put out a project by himself. And when it dropped, I listened to it. I liked it. I remember I even chatted him about it, and it was really a project that came at the right time from somebody that took a break, examined what his capabilities are, and you see how to grow, evolve, and come back at a time where you feel like you're best suited to actually deliver something that people can appreciate and something you're quite comfortable with.
I like what you said about Dagg, because we've seen the evolution, and it's not just the Cold with Navio. It's our that kind of intro beat, man. Let me not even say some things, but yes, there's a lot of fire that comes from Dagg. He has, we've talked about this before. He has music with Wonder that's dope. He has a lot of work out there from a producer standpoint that's really good. And now he's like, hey, let me come back and give you some of this. And for me, it's also about some of the choices of collaboration. Again, we have Akine doing her thing and bringing the heat. Yep. We have Saint Max, who has always been a fave for us from season 1, and like there's Navio again. There's like that collaboration where you're like, okay, cool. He knows that this is what I can do. Let me get people to complement it, and for me, that's always a positive. Out of that, Felix, I didn't even taken you away.
Dog, let me give
me Nzenganze. I did the review, so go read it. But no, first of all, there were some new names. Mia Moore is big on new names. There's that guy TTK. Those that know, that's his name by the way. TTK. Those that know. I feel like that's a cool name. The problem is when they don't know you.
How is it spelled?
TTK. Those that
TTK.
know. Abbreviation. Yeah. But Dagg Mizzo said he recorded this project after a long time of depression. And art/music has always been that thing that really gets you out of the slump. So for to go through a depression and then you create something like this, I think that's something incredible.
Yeah.
Then
have you heard Felix singing?
It's the one that gets you into the depression.
Yep.
And then you create one that gets you out of the depression. But when Mark was speaking that Akane is again on this, there's something that crossed my mind. It's irrelevant to this. And I was thinking, whoever is managing Akine, I think this year they need to put up like an Akine showcase. Was you imagine a showcase where she brings all these people who are featured on songs?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's something to think about. And if you want to organize it, you can hit us up, and we organize it, and then we see how we can make money, all of us. But yeah, shout out to Dagg Mizzo. The project was incredible. There's even that line where he's like, "I buy my girl a backing bag just for the socials." That was a flex.
Some money.
Exactly. You see, you get out of depression and you get money to buy bags.
Back in it.
The next one, speaking of written reviews, the next one is, of course, a project that I reviewed on the Tribe website, and it's Gvng. No, Dollar Gang. Dollar Gang Sounds EP. Gvng. No, Ian just found out earlier. He's like, I'm like, Ian, what are you listening to? I'm listening to Gvng. Like, bro, like, anyway. But
I was going to say that Dolphy that keeps giving.
The Dolphy that kept on giving. Dolph given.
It's a spelling, man. Dolv given. Dollar Gang.
Yeah, Dollar Gang. Sounds EP, I think is, I mean, again, like the review said, I think it's great. You know, you listen to an intro by a track one that has that Hey or Axon, and you're like, to Yingire, let's go. You know, the familiar sounds of the Under My Umbrella, Ian Don't Fight. That familiar, you know, sound. Then getting into, for me, I think track 3, Permit. I permit you. For me, it's a vibe. It's feel good music, and it's quite enjoyable. And for me, he caps it off with a good ending on This Love. And for me, that's just good work. And just in terms of versatility, there's Zoom, where it's more trappy, and it's that type of vibe, and it basically gets to show us his range. And I hope, you know, we get to hear more of him. I hope we get to see more of the push. Because, you know, something that's often lacking for us is, you know, we go looking for music. Let me tell you guys, we look for music.
Yep,
we look for music. But there's those that, like, I saw his, I think it was Dennisy that I saw posts about Dollar Gang. I saw a couple of posts, and I'm like, I'll check this out. And when I checked it out, I was like, let me review this. This is nice. It's easy for me to get into because it speaks for itself. It's straightforward. There's no complication in the project. But, like, we be wanting to see the people that we want to talk about, want to see them put in that work and push, because then we get to, like, we see the growth, and we talk about that with all the other people, you know, that we tend, some people be like, you guys over talk about so and so. Yes, because he's putting in the work. It makes us want to. You just see more. Look at Wake. Yeah. We mention him a lot, but he's doing the most. Hey, award-winning artist Wake. Yeah, you gotta say album of the year. But when someone is putting in work like that, it makes it easy. So we're hoping that some of these newer names, I know Dollar Gang has been there a bit, but like we hope to see more. That way, it gets us, it gets us going, because we see that, he did this earlier, we wrote this review, but now he has even done this, or maybe there's a vision for that, or they had a performance, so it makes it easy to keep going. That's just Dollar Gang,
Dolv given, Dollar Gang. First of all, I like the project. The project is really good. It's what's unfortunate about this project is. I don't know what it is about our artists and the industry in general, but had this project been by an Omarley or because Fireboy or something, I am sure this project would already be all over the place. But because it's a talented artist from Uganda, somehow it may not get the traction it deserves. Because when you listen to it, it's a project, you feel like, guys, everyone should listen to this, but how do you get Niger people to listen to this? So it's painfully good, because I feel like it will not reach its full potential. Like, people will not get to appreciate how good Dollar Gang can actually create and what he was able to do, giving us a bit of Niger. He literally studied the script of what's trending in terms of music, and he found a way to funnel it into his own way and create this project. So it's a very good project that will not get the attention it deserves. I hope it does. I hope somebody somewhere gets to listen to a song and it takes off. My only bit of concern is I don't know if our artists are actually ready for, when you create and you do a Rihanna sample in your song, I feel like you're taking advantage of the fact that I'm small enough, no one will pay attention. But what happens if the song blows up? So you've done a Rihanna sample. I can guarantee nobody cleared it because that costs money. So you've done a Rihanna sample, and for you it's because I'm small enough, nobody will pay attention to this. But what if actually someone paid attention and the song became big and you're slapped with copyright and all these? So I feel like as much as we want to do samples, let it not be the theme that let it not be the most memorable bit of your song.
Remember what James Proper said? You first do it and apologize later, because by the time it reaches there for them to slap with that copyright, it has reached. Now
it has
you
reached.
Get rid of that song and make another one.
Yeah, but you see, because his project is so good, I feel like I don't want you to be capped by that mindset of I'm too small, no one will pay attention. So you think you can do this and get away with it. Yet where you've created original songs, it's still as good at the same level. So I feel like just need to watch out for that a bit.
Felix
Dolofuganga. My first encounter with the man, with that gentleman, was post-pandemic. He had a song called Peaky Blinders with Rick.
Yeah.
And I feel like there has been some bit of growth, and then also you can't know an artist till they give you a body of work.
Yes.
Like how they think, how they put together these songs, how they write and all that.
How he arranged the project, which I loved.
So I feel like with that, we get to know him more. Because now, like, their song, like most people, I'm sure they clicked on it because they're saying
Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders, or they're saying Rick. But now for here, we get to hear him and understand who he is as an artist. And I would say he's a good artist. He's not a bad artist. But sometimes things go left quickly when you decide to do your own project where you don't have a lot of big names. But I'm looking forward to see what more he creates, because this project was short and sweet.
Yeah.
So I'm looking to see more what he creates in a long format.
Speaking of short and sweet projects, we had our boy Shawn Maine. I think we should go to executive producer. Executive producer. And he's adding that to the CV. Forbes, executive producer, CEO.
How does it feel, sir?
Bro, I did nothing on that project to be an executive producer. I did nothing. So I clearly know how other executive producers feel.
Because they do a lot of nothing.
They do a lot of nothing and they put their names on.
You're being humble because you don't want us to ask you for money.
But like by the time I joined Shawn Maine on this journey, he already had recorded the music. The first thing I asked him, I'm like, yo, the music is, I don't want to say sad, but it's that heartbreak music.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? And I'm like, can't we light it up a bit? I was like, no, this is a story I'm trying to tell. And he
knew his direction.
Yeah, he knew his direction. It wasn't, and I think that's why the songs were for,
Yeah.
Well, how many stages of grief are they? Because
my life is pretty awesome.
But pretty much he's telling the story from the moment they break up all the way to like, hey, my guy, when things get better, don't switch up and come back and try to do this thing. Yeah. But we did help out with a rollout, which we thought that since this EP, you are telling this one story, how about you get other people to also tell their stories? Because we all go through heartbreaks and things like that.
Yeah. Who broke your heart? Tell your story, Felix.
Brother. Angels Nyigos. But yeah, people share their stories, and the music came out, and we were happy that people liked the music, at least for me. Because you would be somewhere and then someone plays this one song of the EP and they're like, hey, this kid is good, who is he? And such things show you that people are responding to good music.
Yeah. One of the things I liked about that in particular, as an artist, I mean, it's a heartbreak project, like you've said, and as an artist who's about the slower music and stuff like that, he still manages to give that one song that can be played when we're out. You get, sometimes people will be like, they don't play your music out, but does your music fit the party, the Systeeemu? You get, but like in that particular case, he gave that song the Joshua Baraka feature,
Tina.
And Tina, Joshua and them chicks with names that end in A, Belinda, Tina. Anyway,
Joshua and Kohen, what's up? Julina, Eva.
Man, when these chicks was no set in A, they are breaking our niggas' hearts. But like, actually, I mean, DJ Jeff has had that Friday feeling mix, and you get to hear a song like that, and then you actually have more than one Joshua. You have that from Shawn. So it's good to see that these people's music, you're making a Friday feeling playlist, but you can still incorporate, and that's something I talked about a lot, like in the first season. Like Ian and I mentioned, like if you're listening to like a Trey that we mentioned, where he's going to give you his R&B, these slow, sad songs all through the project, but he has that bala song every time. Yeah. And for me, it's important to, if you want the reach, like yes, you can still make it, but while staying true to your story and whatever you're trying to project, whatever you're trying to tell us, you can still make that song that gets your project on the radar. Then I can go home and listen to other things. Like if I hear it out and I Shazam, I can go and listen to the rest of your work. And that for me is, I guess, a good thing to have, especially from an artist of that genre, especially for someone who's been in the industry for a while, because Shawn is not new.
Yeah. Speaking of DJ Zephas,
I'm worried.
Do you think when you guys are grabbing Nyigos in heaven, there'll be like a DJ in the corner?
JEFAS.
Where you can request for a job.
Play that Naxa. No. MC Yallah. Yallah Beibe.
Shout out to MC Yallah.
Yep.
Since she's so important, we need CEO.
No. It's not like that, MC Yallah. But shout out to MC Yallah. First things first, because every time we have reached out when you're trying to do some work with you, you've answered the phone, you've come through the ciphers we did when we were still doing the
thing. Yes. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, but when we were still doing that ones, we did some ciphers. And MC Yallah came through when I reached out for her to perform at the awards again. She came through. So right now, her career, the stage it is at, I'm happy to see that it has reached that level. Yeah. You have her performing in different countries, in Europe, different festivals. Yeah. You have her on major publications like Vice writing about the performances she's doing. Basically, she has put out the flag out there through her music, and she has stuck to it. She hasn't compromised the sound. She hasn't compromised the creativity. And it's been a long journey. It's been a really, really long journey for her. And for us to see her at this level, it is really a success, not only for her, but also for us, the people of the industry, and the people who have been like championing her in one way or the other, and the people whom she has contributed to, because she has contributed to our journey also. So MC Yallah, on and upwards. As for the album, guys, go listen to the album. It is an album. Baby. It is an album whose sound is shaped by the places she has been to, and then also she doesn't forget her East African flavor. She sprinkles all over it. Yeah. She's someone who has roots in Uganda, also has roots in Kenya, along the coast. So yeah, onwards and upwards.
Me, I feel like Ian and I do not have that. The man has said stuff. Hey, has come, when to call you up, and when you okay. Man,
our stories may be fake.
We are going to humbly move to the next. Humbly move to the next one, and
you did this, and
the last one for the day.
Wait, when you did this, Angel, when you're getting Nyigos in heaven, you go like this. Do you remember those Oliver Ngoma songs? Yeah? The way that guys would do this.
Like sometimes how you have success, and then you do that. Now in heaven, what do you do? What is going on?
When you talked about this, I thought the guy said don't like a.
You just look across on the big chair. You're
like, my guy.
But yeah, we move on.
The things that are said on the podcast only belong to the said. Don't judge the rest of us. The myth, Systeeemu. Systeeemu.
Writer.
Kakanet.
Writer.
Kakanet.
Your blessings are wins.
So yeah, I feel like the myth has contributed to my journey. Every time I call him. but no. Systeeemu. I believe Ian as the guy who made success of a former Mith project.
Yeah.
Maybe he can start us off with the Mith feedback.
I know it's a very... Everyone has their opinion about the Ugandan sound.
Oh,
Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone has their opinion about it. And I think, like most of us have agreed, we cannot box the sound into... We cannot box our music into that sound. Which I mostly agree with. But also, the artists that... As much as they're not boxing themselves into that narrative, are able to create music, and when you listen to it, it's obvious where this music comes from, and in an interesting, fashion, especially in terms of the music has an identity. So when you listen to the project, when you listen to Systeeemu, apparently you can't just say system, you have to say so when you listen to Systeeemu, it's for me, I feel like this is a project that comes in at a point where the Mith is just having fun, because the first song, it's a bit all sad, talks about his granddad and all that, so you're all in your feelings, but then he's showing off the storytelling side of what he's able to do as a creator. Then after that, you move into tracks with Akine. Oh my God, that hook.
Good vibes.
You know how at the listening party, they're like, which one should be the single? Which one should be the single? We don't know. Good Vibes is the single.
Hey, mama, you went to the listening party? Hey, mama. Hey, mama.
Wow. Where did you go? Where were you?
As we were on Snapchat watching you guys who are the listening party.
Yeah, so and then you move into tracks that closer to home, tracks that were written by our very own. So we have a songwriter, Mark lent his pen on Gvng, and I think for me the most important bit here is how the Mith is putting on new creators in the industry.
And podcasters.
So you see, as we keep telling artists, diversify. If you're a singer, try to write code, try to produce, open like a business. Even him is a podcaster, he's a songwriter. But again, it's artists like
and a French speaker.
There's that. Komsinja whisperer.
Wow.
So, and artists like the Mith Gvng. These young artists who are hungry for the experience.
Young writers,
you're hungry for the experience, and you get an opportunity at the top level where it matters, and then you go through TL and everyone's like, hey, Gvng is such a track, massages your ego, hopefully your bank account as well. But overall, I think for me, I love the project. I like how it's there's a song for everybody, which has been a theme throughout all the projects he has given us over time. And he puts on, there's that dude, I forget his name, the guy who plays a trumpet without a trumpet.
Oh, trumpet.
So there's like that, the fact that he's putting on new hungry writers, he's putting on artists we've not yet discovered. So I like the fact that the project comes at a point where he's just having fun and he's actually putting on new creators as well. And you, Mr.
And me?
Felix.
Man. Zenganze, I'm happy that Mark got to write another song.
Another one.
Got to write another song.
And those are the ones that have been released.
Yeah.
Got to write another song. But I tried to listen to the project on my way to Adijumani, but network wouldn't let me be great. But Yallah Manya, shout out to Yallah Manya, he wrote a review for us. Yeah. And one of the quotes that stood out was the Mith's latest EP, Systeeemu, is a testament that even a seasoned veteran can still grow as an artist, showcasing his ability to wrap his lyrical prowess in irresistible melodies and top-notch production, something that he has never laxed on anyway. And I think that's so for me, in this perspective, I feel like the Mith has been doing this for the longest.
Yes.
Right.
Like he said, he has never laxed on it.
Yeah.
He has been doing this for the longest and he has continued evolving. Then on the other flip side, for me, Systeeemu is
Systeeemu.
it has been a long time coming kind of project,
Right.
because if you look at the way the Mith creates his music, it's an extension of who he is and an extension of his lifestyle. And it was so fitting that this was an EP. It wasn't like a whole album because for a vibe, that's what you want, especially from an artist like the Mith. And then also, I think I've said this before and I'll say it again, I'll look forward to a live concert of the Mith.
Right, but you have not said anything about the young, hungry writers.
The young, hungry writers, let them keep writing. One day you'll be like the Count, Mark Mayanja, with such a... me, I know this is going to win an award somewhere, somehow. And now he will be award-winning.
And you, Mr. Songwriter.
So, like he said that and it threw me off. Like I didn't even plan where I was starting, but now I'm like, snap.
Shout out also to DJ Jeffers, because everywhere I've been, he has been playing some projects, some songs of this project.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to DJ Jeffers, because it has helped me counteract the network that disturbed me. But
for me, it's quite simple. Like you said, it's always an extension of who he is, and we know he has always been vibe and pate. So the Systeeemu has been, you've always seen the Systeeemu has been constantly put out there, and now it's been brought in form of music.
Yeah.
So that's tracks, I think 1 to 6, especially they give you that. Sorry, 2 to 6, especially give you that vibe that's a blast from good vibes to Gwasinga to what sunny days,
then that's a song Felix can't sing.
Man, there are many songs I can't sing.
But because Felix can't sing, I'm a style. Wow. Anyway, but
I know rich people overdo it, but
but I can get Nyigos on it from an angel.
But and I like that he still stays true to himself as well. That side of him that's raps and depth, and that's what he gives us in conversations. And he's always had those intros that are meaningful. And I like that even in the Pate project, we still get that appeal. He gives us an intro that, like he's always given, whether it's been a mixtape, an album, whatever. He's always given us, I think, except the one that wasn't by him, but he still brought Maritza to bring her fire to it as well. So for me, that's just always a dope thing to hear, and I think that's all I'm going to.
So let me.
How much were you paid?
And that is all I'm going to.
How much were you paid for the song?
Red can change. Tell them the red can change. I started with the again, Mootownoh and Damzi. Shut ups. And now Gwasinga. And like we said, some in the works. So
let me ask. This is for you, Mark the writer. You've listened to Conversations, right? The
of
one
course.
on the, of course, yeah. And I saw in an Instagram post pretty much tribute to Granddad, all that. So you, Mark, as a writer, when shall we see you on that level of writing where you tap into your
I don't want
to say your trauma, but
stay tuned.
You cannot tap into your trauma if you have no heart.
What does he have?
I don't know.
So guys,
but yeah,
I am traumatized, but I think for this first episode, we backini like the man Malcolm, but we're happy that you all are back with us and ready for another round of application. I'm looking forward to doing the damn thing, guys. Are you ready? Because from here, it's a bit non-stop. It's non-stop. So
we are ready.
We're ready.
Yeah. The only disclaimer. It's not even a disclaimer, but guys, like, don't take this shit too personal.
Mama, you take this shit too personal. No, you take it personal.
No, you see, if someone says something, there's probably a bit of truth. So before you overreact, like, examine and see if there's some truth.
I think Ian knows that his prayer church is going to see what he said on the podcast. I'd be like, my guy, we would do sell at your house. This is how you're repaying us.
With Angels Nyigos.
Yeah, so now he's here getting disclaimers. But guys, thanks for rocking with us. We are back full. We took this podcast from that place where we're recording from, where electric poles were falling.
Where the pole fell in the
where
episode.
there was a yaka beeping in the background. To having a video podcast, from the video podcast going to CNN. Now we are here at Nihati.
Yep.
And on that note, shout out to the appropriate of Nihati for always being
rocking
a gracious host.
Yep.
And rocking with us. And also on that note, shout outs to Kagame Bruce. You know, if you know, you know.
And I was wondering which one, but go on.
Yeah, I had to and then also producer Hassan, aka Mr. Damba, for holding down the sound.
Yep.
Eric on the photos that you guys see out there. And lastly, guys, this platform is for creators like you, like me. So in case you have something to advertise, our rates are very fair. Just look for that email in the description there. Send us a email. Mr. Mark Bayanja will reach out to you with a red card.
What?
It's just that now the podcast made it to CNN, so the red card might vary, but we know we are creators first, so we are fair. Then we have it in the back of our mind that we are in this struggle together.
Since that guy is bagging stuff, he's telling us to go. So, deuces.
Peace out.